So we're in the middle of rural England in this glorious slice of Wiltshire at the Chalke History Festival. And in this special episode of the History Book Buffs, we're going to bring you all our highlights from the festival, including interviews with top authors. We're going to give you our reviews of some of the talks. There are historical reenactors, tanks, guillotines. It's been the most incredible few days, and we'd love you to check out some of it. So stick with us. And welcome to the History Book Buffs Chalke Valley special. There is the festival in all its glory.
Al Murray.
Yes.
Historian extraordinaire.
Well, I'm certainly unusual.
The history book, but three history book challenge.
Right.
First question is, which book do you wish you had written?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I don't know, Stalingrad by Anthony Beevor, so for the sales.
For the sales, purely. James Holland, thank you for joining us. We're at Chalke Valley Festival doing the 3-book challenge for History Book Buffs. Your first question, which history book do you wish you had written?
Well, I'm a big fan of A Social History of England, which was by Christopher Hibbert. It came out, I don't know when, the 70s, something like that. But I read that at a very early age. It was very sort of formative, and I just felt the scope and the human stories in it, it was such an inspiration. I'd have loved to have written that.
Wonderful. Next one is, which book changed your life?
Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. I was completely obsessed with that book, and indeed the subsequent TV series. I think, did I read the book first or the TV series? I don't remember, but it's a book that I returned to over and over and over again. And of course, it's framed with a backdrop of the Second World War, even though it's talking about an earlier era. Yeah. And I just love that interwar period.
Brilliant. And your last question, when your obituary is finally written, decades hence, obviously, which of your own books do you hope is mentioned in the title?
Well, the book I enjoyed writing the most, without a shadow of doubt, was Alveston, which is a novel. Which is, it's done okay, but it's not the greatest. But I think the book I'm probably sort of most proud of is probably Normandy 44.
Brilliant. Wonderful. James Holland, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Roger.
So we're on location.
On location. Very exciting. Chalke Valley Festival, History Festival. Yes, first day for us. It's the Friday, it's not the first day for the festival.
Second pint.
Don't mention that. First thing we noticed that we both said wasn't it how wonderful to see all of this array of tents and most crucially loads and loads of people all here to enjoy a bit of history.
It's amazing, it's completely incredible. And everywhere you look, there's people dressed in reenactment costumes, there's people wandering in and out of tents listening to talks. It's just the most incredibly joyous celebration of the thing that we're both quite geeky about.
Yeah. It's like all this stuff that you do like in your own office or in your own shed and in your own head, crucially. And then you come here and you realise, actually, there's thousands of people that share your passions, which is fabulous.
Do you think you might be dreaming?
I think I might be, actually.
I know, I said it when we got here, it's a bit like our version of Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, earlier I saw a guy dressed as Robin Hood wandering past some World War II tanks, and I was like, I'm in.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Sold. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Brilliant.
So we've been to a few talks. Highlights, we went to James Holland and Al Murray, who...
Yeah, always good.
Yeah.
Always funny.
They were talking about Victory 45, which we
Great
have
book.
done a podcast about. Go look in our back catalogue.
Absolutely. Always amusing, enjoyable, very knowledgeable. Enjoyed that a lot. Good subject as well. It's one, funnily enough, that I'd sort of toyed with just before I saw their book, and then I realised it had been done. Obviously, the idea was so good, someone had already done it.
Oh, dash!
but there
It's
you
just
go.
like you nearly wrote Bloodlands.
I know.
You nearly. If only.
That damn Timothy Snyder. Yeah, no, so they were very good. You know,
Yeah, so they were
box
doing
office.
it's history of World War II and 8 surrenders, so it's
Yeah.
the same subject, but you know,
Yeah.
polished, wonderful
Yeah,
stuff.
very polished. And Gordon Carrera.
Yes,
Who,
BBC security correspondent
exactly.
talking about the Mitrokhin archives,
Yeah.
his book on that,
and
the
the
spy in the archives.
I mean,
it's
more, I
called.
suppose, the story of Mitrokhin himself as well, wasn't it? Which was really interesting.
So it wasn't new to me because I know quite a lot about Mitrokhin, but it was kind of new to you, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I knew the story of the material that came out of it, obviously, but the story of Mitrokhin himself and how he came to become that defector. That was really interesting and really well told. Again, I mean, someone with a BBC background, you'd expect that, but very, very polished delivery, wasn't it?
It was
So,
absolutely brilliant. I've
really
read the
good.
book as well, and the book's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Because basically, the Mitrokhin story is a disgruntled Russian KGB archivist smuggled out the entire history of the KGB
Yeah.
in his spare time over
Yeah.
a period of decades.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible story, but also has the potential to be a very boring story because effectively it's about a librarian
Yeah.
gone rogue.
It's about a rogue nerd.
A rogue nerd, right? And actually, Gordon Carrera nails it. He
Yeah, he
makes
does.
it exciting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so funny. It's
Yeah.
just an incredible story, and
Yeah.
the speech is brilliant. But the book is even better. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. No, it's very enjoyable. So beware the rogue nerds. That's all we'll say.
Are we in rogue nerd territory?
Well, we might be. We're certainly in red trouser territory.
Panama hat.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many Panama hats in one place in my entire life. We're not.
But it's a wonderful event, and it's, like I said, it's absolutely heartening to see so many people, gather together, enjoying a bit of history in the sunshine. It's absolutely textbook.
I love the way that you're pretending that the best thing about it isn't the loaded fries truck that you're about to dig into.
Don't give too many of our secrets away. Okay, Helen Castor, thank you for joining us. History Book Buffs at Chalke Valley Festival. We're doing the 3-book challenge today. Your first question is, which book do you wish you had written?
I wish I'd written Wolf Hall. Is that an allowable response? I wish I'd written it for so many reasons, but particularly because I don't think there's anything to match Hilary Mantel's prose when it comes to stepping into the world of Tudor England.
Wonderful. Justin Pollard, welcome. History
Hello.
Book Buffs at Chalke Festival. We're doing the 3-book challenge today.
Okay.
Your first question is, which book changed your life?
Oh, that's a very good question, isn't it? The book that changed my life probably was actually Wuthering Heights, reading at school, which I thought was going to be just sort of a turgid 19th century sort of, standard school book to read. And I read it and thought, bloody hell, I can understand now why this is a famous book. It is just the most beautifully unlikely written book by anyone who would write a book like that. It was extraordinary.
Wonderful. Peter Caddick Adams, welcome. Thank you for coming for our 3-book challenge, Chalke Valley weekend. The first question is, which history book changed your life?
I think one by Richard Holmes, who was my inspiration in so many different ways, who I then went to work for. And of course we saw him on the television all the time. It was probably Riding the Retreat, which struck me as a very innovative and original way of following the First World War, which he did on horseback chateau to chateau, dinner party to dinner party, but along the way he explained what it was like to be a British Tommy in 1914.
Wonderful.
Roger Moorhouse, you're looking very hot and frazzled.
Yes, I am a bit. I've been spent half an hour in a tent with Neil Ferguson, the great Neil Ferguson.
A hot and sweaty tent with Neil Ferguson?
Yes, I mean, less sexy than it sounds, I'll be honest. But very interesting. He was talking about AI and Trump and science fiction and applied history, and the way all of these things sort of came together in a really fascinating, very much extemporized presentation. Yeah, fascinating. He often gives the impression of sort of working on a higher plane to a lot of people, and very, very interesting half an hour. So yes, intellectually stimulating, but much less sexy than it sounds.
Well, you were basically in a tent thinking about AI and Trump. I mean, I'm not sure that's ever going to be sexy, is it?
No, that's very true. Very true. Unsexy times. Yeah.
Oh, which book do I wish I'd written? A History of England by Simon Jenkins. I always read that when I was younger, and I always think I wish I could write a whole history of England, but actually it's already been written, so I've got nothing more to add.
So,
End of day 2 at Chalke Valley Festival.
yes, another action-packed day.
It has been amazing.
Yeah, that's been incredible. We caught a few good talks. We caught Tim Bouverie talking about great power relations, great power alliances during World War II.
It's not a book either of us have read, but I think
No.
on the back of he delivered beautifully.
Yep, you did.
So I think on the back of that,
Again, you know, extemporized, spoke beautifully. So yes, absolutely. And who else did we see? We saw
Neil Ferguson.
Neil Ferguson. Well, I saw Neil Ferguson. You were lost in the bowels of tech hell at that point. I saw Neil Ferguson in an extremely sweaty tent, who was typically brilliant. Again, like the delivery was fantastic. It was thought-provoking. You know, it's one of those talks where it kind of makes you wish you could go back to university again and sit at the feet of people like that, because they're just so unbelievably, you know, inspirational and clever and all of that. So
Yeah.
I felt a bit like that. I felt like a sort of a starry-eyed undergraduate again. And yes, yeah, teach me, please.
Bless.
Bless. Yeah. But it has been a fascinating day.
And you've seen lots of tanks, which pleases you.
Yes, tanks, artillery pieces, all of that. Steam engines. I'm quite fond of a steam engine. Takes me back to my youth. So all of that
Takes you
was
back to
great.
your youth. I didn't realise you were that old, Moorhouse.
Yes, I am actually 107. Yeah. And Kate Vigers doing a little
Lee Miller.
thing on Lee Miller, which was very interesting. So that was fun. So yeah, it's been brilliant.
It's been another
Great day, and like absolutely rammed with people. The sun smiled on us all day.
Very hot.
Very hot.
And we're going to go and see John Sweeney later, aren't
Yes,
we?
John
Talking about
Sweeney,
Navalny and
talking about
Putin.
Navalny and Putin, exactly. And yeah, John's always trenchant and forthright. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, great
So
day.
another great day. So na zdrowie. I had another meeting this morning with Herr Hitler.
It's all interesting. It's fun as well, and you can be funny about it, and it's important to be funny about it, because otherwise, you know, I think history's used for all sorts of things. One of the uses and abuses of history is to use it as a cudgel, to use it as a source of grievance and all that. But if you can laugh at those things, you can enjoy it, be set free of it at the same time, and that which sounds as a profound reaction to Sellers and Yates, but it's satire, and that's satire. Hopefully, makes you go, hang on a minute, I'm having a look at this from a slightly different angle.
Great stuff. Last one. Which of your books would you want to be mentioned in the title of your obituary? Al Murray, author of
The Pub Landlord's Guide to British Common Sense, which is that's the first book I wrote, which is a toilet book of, and the illustrations are very, very good. So no, I don't know. I mean, the thing is when and you'll know this, you finish a book and you think, by the time you get to handing it over, and you think, well, I've done my best. Maybe I haven't pulled this off. I feel quite duffed up by the experience. And the book, On a Black Tuesday, the last book, proper book I've finished, although the one I've just done with Jim was a very pleasurable experience. That I found was a really emotional experience, getting the damn thing done. I felt I'd bitten off more than I could chew. So if I drop dead tomorrow, that one. But hopefully I'll actually crack how to write them and crack how I get my voice right in the page, on the page. So at the moment is that one, but hopefully
many more to come.
Many more to come. If I could, but also I find writing books really, really difficult, and I found stand-up comedy quite easy. One pays me more than the other, so there's a bit of like personal economy at work there.
Yeah, wonderful. Al Murray, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
When your obituary is finally written many decades hence, which of your own books do you hope is mentioned in the title?
I'm sure there's many more to come before the obituary happens. But if we were to do it now, I would hope it was Mission Europe, because in that book, I am telling stories, bringing other women to the fore who not many people have heard of. So I'm covering other countries where SOE was present as well. And so hopefully people will be learning a lot more from that book.
Wonderful.
Let's do the next one, because I think it is time. Is this one? Can you flip to the next one? There we go. To bring in the SAS. Ever since 19...
Many years hence, when someone writes your obituary, what book of yours do you want to be in the headline?
That I've currently written, obviously.
Maybe, or maybe a future one.
Well, then I can't name it. So maybe the one that I told you about a minute ago that I can't name because I haven't sold the contract yet. Currently, that's a really hard one because I love about 3 of them a lot for different reasons. I'm going to say Crusade.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a Roman?
No.
Why Crusade?
Because it's got the love of my life in it.
Oh, that's the sweetest answer. Thank you so much, Ben Kane. So we finished our time at Chalke.
Yeah, it's been incredible, hasn't it?
It's been absolutely amazing.
So often when you're writing and doing what we do, it's almost hard to imagine that there's anyone out there at all. And then you come here and you see these thousands of people who are all dead keen on history and all periods of history and all types of history, living history, and the presentations by the sort of the reenactors and the rest of it. And it's a wonderfully honest enthusiasm for the subject, and it's that's your audience. That's these are them.
And there's so many young people here, and so much excitement about history. So much. I mean, it really. I think it's made me have such a spring in my step that there's so many people love it as much as we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, two really good. It's been some really good talks that we've seen in the last few days, and 2 today as well. I mean, barnstorming talk. Ben McIntyre talking about the siege, the Iranian embassy siege from 1980, was, I mean, a lot. By definition, these are some of the best historians in the country. I thought he was absolutely outstanding as a presentation, don't you?
He was. I mean, it made me think that when our books come out next year, we should just, my book next year, your book in October, we should just ask Ben Matt to present them.
Yeah.
We won't do the talks. We'll say, Ben, could you do it?
We'll just be stage left. Counting the money rolling in. No, but he was amazing.
He was incredible.
Like, and you know, fabulous book, which we're going to do on the pod as well.
Yeah, we're going to do that. And then we went to see Helen Castor talk about her brilliant book, The Eagle in the
Heart.
Heart?
Yes.
Heart.
Eagle in the Heart.
I loved that. Full disclaimer, Helen Castor taught me at university like 100 years ago. Oh, I said 100 years ago as a sort of slur on me, but I realised it's also a slur on Helen. Sorry, Helen.
Yeah, sorry, Helen.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful talk, I thought. It's particularly interesting for me on the psychological effects on Henry IV of usurping the crown, and the fact that it seemed to me to be a classic case of one of my favourite paradoxes, the Kerensky paradox, which I love. The idea that in order to sometimes achieve something in politics, you have to become the thing that you despise.
Yes.
And if you don't become the thing that you despise, i.e. Kerensky, you end up being ousted. And the same, so, obviously this is a completely different era, completely different circumstances, but she was talking about how Henry IV's tumultuous soul after the fact that he'd usurped a lawful king of England. I thought that's brilliant.
Well, he's obviously still in the days of divine kingship. That was not something to be done lightly, was it?
No.
So, yeah, but no, beautiful presentation as well.
So yeah, all good. What a day. What a weekend.
And we collared a host of historians and others to give us the 3-book challenge, to inflict that upon them.
Yeah.
So that's all going to go out on the various channels that we inhabit online.
Yeah.
Well, great fun, absolutely fantastic few days, isn't it?
Yeah, really good, and lots of beers.
Lots of beers, lots of chat, and roll on next year is all I can say.
Roll on next year. Thank you, Chalke. And we should also say, in the usual way, subscribe, follow for on all the places where we are.
Brilliantly done. So professional. It's the blind leading the blind.
Who's blind?
Well, it's the partially sighted leading the blind.
But I'm the king of the swingers, yeah, the jungle VIP. That looks better, doesn't it?
Is that right?
Yeah, we need to be further away though. How do we get to be further? Oh, fucking hell, we're recording.